These rosettes on the outer horses made these carved horses very, very valuable. These horses can be bought today probably from anywhere from $20,000, $50,000, $60,000, depending on the condition of them. I had a gentleman call me from Utah. He had fully restored one of those Gavioli organs I mentioned earlier. He wanted to know if anyone in Revere, at the City Hall, or in any of the historical societies would be interested in helping to bring that Gavioli organ back to Revere Beach. He wanted $100,000. Nobody really had any organization in Revere back, what, 8, 9 years ago to do anything like that, so we weren't able to do that. But somebody purchased it for, I think, $150,000. One of the organ collectors, of which there are many in the country. But I think someday you will see a museum back on the beach. You will see these carousel horses and the rounding boards, because there is great interest in having a museum right on the beach with this memorabilia. Donkey rides. Easter Sunday. Who went to Revere Beach at Easter? A lot of people went to the beach at Easter time. For 10 cents, you can take a ride in this donkey ride. Take you from Revere Street to the MDC police station and back. Look at this. Anybody recall this building? This was the bathhouse, right in the middle of the beach, attached to the state police building. It's a great photograph. This building was probably 3 levels. The first level, where you came in and out of the bathhouse, of course, but the upper level is where the laundry was worked. This is where bathing suits were washed and mended and repaired and sent back out. This photograph is great in that this clock, you'll see, is facing the boulevard. It's facing the beach. It's facing the beach because the MDC used to rent bathing suits by the hour. So once a year, this gentleman here, his name is Ernie Eggleston, he used to come out and protest the facing of this clock. He wanted it to face the boulevard. He wanted it to face traffic so that people would know what time of the day it was. But the MDC would have no part of it. They said, we rent our suits by the hour, and people need to know when they're going to get that suit back to us.
I have a girlfriend who said when she was having one of her babies, she timed her contractions with that.
Oh, is that? I'll try to remember that for the next slide. You know, this bathhouse, when you went to the beach and rented those bathing suits in the early years, in the 20s and 30s, it was actually against the law to cross the boulevard in bathing attire. So you had to rent your bathing suit, change into it, but you had to come downstairs in the building, and there were 2 tunnels, one for men and women, that led underground, underneath the boulevard, and put you right out onto the beach. There's some great photographs of that. I don't happen to have them yet in the slideshow, but you could not cross the boulevard in bathing attire. There's Ernie in that clock. You can see how big the clock was. Ernie was about 6 feet tall. No one knows where this original clock is, although there is one there today. It's not this one. Look at how they will line up in that wall to rent bathing suits. Now, you know how hot it is out there today? The sun's beating on that brick wall. That's heated up. Those people are fully dressed, waiting to rent the bathing suit. They would rent 9,000 bathing suits a day. That's amazing. For 10 cents, 15 cents, you get a towel and a locker. The building on the left-hand side, that's where the Hippodrome was. This is a North Reading family.
Careful what you say.
You know, it's funny, this picture, the only one wearing bathing suits in this picture are the men. Because the women were not allowed to wear bathing suits. Back in the early 1900s. And these were house dresses, right? Is that what they call house dresses, I think? House dresses, yeah. These were wool bathing suits. That's why the men aren't really smiling. Couldn't be too comfortable. And they would get through with these bathing suits, take them back to the bathhouse, and turn them in and rent them to somebody else. That's amazing. Annette Kellerman, fabulous, fantastic, well-known swimmer. She swam the circuit. She came from Australia. She traveled all around the United States, and on the East Coast in particular, she came to Revere Beach. Her story was told in The $1 Million Mermaid, which was a 1957 film, where She came to swim at Revere Beach. And as I say, women were not allowed to wear bathing attire. And when she came there, she came with her arms and legs exposed. While she was swimming on the beach, the local girls from Chelsea, sorry Mary, Revere, Lynn, they weren't happy about that. So they reported Annette to the local police. The MDC arrested Annette Kellerman at Revere Beach. And when I talk about her story, that story is told in that movie. She was taken to Chelsea Court and they had to have her arms and legs covered. And then she went back and she continued to swim to the beach. But she caused quite a sensation at the beach. Bobby, what year do you think this might have been?
1920s.
It was in the Boston Post. Somebody, 1920s. This picture was in the Boston Post. Again, at a slideshow like this, someone donated this photograph. I love to show this photograph. Usually gets a little bit of a stir with the crowd.
Yeah, that's a nice
A little bit of a racy bathing suit look, right? I can't imagine what it looked like when people come out with the bikinis. Right? How about today? They wear dental floss.
What year was that?
What year do you think this might have been? Probably late 40s. Probably late 40s. 46, 49, something like that.
When did they allow them to wear bathing suits?
Like this?
No.
Oh, regular bathing suits.
The other ones should almost come down
Probably
to
in the 30s. Probably in the 30s.
Yeah.
Look at this photograph. You could hardly get a towel placed on the beach. You had to go to the beach early in order to get the spot.
Oh, yeah.
But this photograph is great and it shows you the large crowd and all. But take a look at the way the men are dressed in this photograph. Why are they wearing bathrobes down at the beach?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kind of
The guy with the
crazy,
straw
right?
hat.
They're wearing bathrobes because that was the only way you could go across the street to get an orangeade. You had to be covered up. You weren't going to put your trousers on over that wool bathing suit or over a bathing suit, right? You had to cover up because the MDC would fine you. So you had to wear that bathrobe. Great.
Oh, yeah.
Things have changed significantly. How about this? Anyone recall going to Bluebeard's Palace? Right? This is where you met the soldiers or the sailors on leave, right? That's where they played that loud dance music, and you would dance with the soldiers or sailors, and your boyfriend would get enraged. How about Nickel Day? You recall Nickel Day?
That was the mayor.
Well, I think there were all types of promotion that utilized the coupons, but Nickel Day could be found in the Herald Traveler, the Revere Journal. For 5 cents, you could get an orangeade or a hot dog, maybe a ride on the Tilt-A-Whirl, the Bubble Bounce. How about the Roundup, the Whip, right? Dodgems. That's right. Mighty Mouse. How about the Wild Mouse? Wild Mouse. That was right above the Yankees Pizza, the best pizza on the beach. At least I would say
It was
that.
Yankee, that's why.
Some people would say Anna's had the best pizza. Others would say Bill Ash's. I particularly like the Yankee because I used to hang across. You like the Yankees the best. When I went to the beach, and I'll show you the photographs later on, we used to stay at a certain part of the beach, and I know you did too, and I'll try to pick out some places maybe you remember those.
There's the tickets.
There's those tickets,
Yeah.
the Bubble Bounce, the Hippodrome, the skating rinks, of which there were 2, the Dodgems, Honeymoon Express,
Honeymoon Express.
the Tunnel of Love, another fun house. Yeah, this is Mardi Gras time down at the beach. Probably in the early 30s, late 20s, early 30s. This is where you had, it looks to be like a volcano, an active volcano on the beach. This was actually a structure built out of paper mache. And out of the top of it, it looks like smoke, it was actually steam. And then below the steam out of that, from that came tickets, discount tickets, coupons, blown all across the beach. The MDC didn't like that exposition at all.
No.
They felt they were polluting the beach and they wanted it stopped, so they ended up having to, stop this particular display. But it was quite an attraction for many years down the beach. Girlies kiddie rides. recall the name of this roller coaster? Nope, this was the Derby Racer. Anybody recall the double roller coaster on the beach? In the 40s and 50s, you had the Derby Racer. It was a set of roller coasters, they ran the tracks together. If your set came in first during Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, you get to ride free. You never have that chance in the weekend, there were just too many people. But I love this photograph too because it does show all the activity along the boulevard, but it shows more importantly Trask Dining Room. This is where you can get a lobster dinner for $1.
Oh.
Can't even do better than that at the Lobster Club.
Lobster Club.
I went to the Lobster Club this past weekend. A friend of mine, I picked him up a lobster roll. It was $16 and change for a lobster roll.
Lobster roll.
A lot of lobster dinner.
Put it back in
It
the-
was good. $16 and change was a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. There it is.
Here's the Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Again, looks like the Cyclone roller coaster, which you're all quite familiar with, but this is the Thunderbolt. This was closer to the Revere Street part of Revere Beach, an all-wood structure.
Yeah.
And you had the shooting gallery right here, all along the boulevard here.
The real bullets.
Real bullets.
Oh yeah, real bullets.
Incredible.
If
I
you
think
hit
there were other times that there were real bullets used on the beach too. I know of a couple of instances the MDC police used to target the weather vane that used to be on top of the bathhouse. At the end of their shifts, some of them would actually take pot shots at the weather vane that would spin around. And after about 30, 40 years, they found that there were actually only 2 bullet holes on it.
They missed it. They missed it.
Here's a nice, very popular ride. Anyone know the name of this ride?
Whip.
The Whip. The Whip. This lady went on this ride so many times she had to wear a neck brace. How about this one? You know the name of this?
Virginia Rail.
Very good. Excellent. Somebody went on the Virginia Rail here, huh? That's great. Beth, how many times did you go on the Virginia Rail?
Once, when I saw the boys falling.
Yeah. When you went on the Virginia Rail, the ride used to spin, right?
Yeah.
You'd come down the hill, side to side. Many times you just really believed that car was going to come off the track right up there. Right? But you still went on it the next time. Everybody wanted thrills at Revere Beach, and they got them for sure. Now this picture's great because, you know, it really shows the time, what years it might have been. You can tell by the guy wearing the Panama hat in the front there. But I always look at this and I wonder, is this really Bobby Kennedy? Doesn't it look like him? It really does. I mean, I know everyone wore that haircut, but it looks quite similar in that photograph.
It looks like he got shot.